In this video I will talk about 4 of Loki's children: Sleipnir, Hel, the Fenris wolf and the Midgard Serpent. Okay, let's start. Loki is the mother, yes, the mother, of Sleipnir. He did this by shapeshifting into a mare and used the stallion of the giant builder to become pregnant. The giant builder is the one who built the walls around Asgard, which is the home of the gods. Sleipnir is a grey, 8-legged horse. This horse is a magical horse and the most beautiful of all horses. Sleipnir is the symbol of the wind and can just as easily gallop through the air as on land. The horse has the marks of hell written upon it. Sleipnir was later given to the god Odin as a gift from Loki. Hel is a giantess and the daughter of Loki. Her mother is Angrboda. She is a giantess from Jotunheim. It was Odin, the chief of the Aesir, who threw Hel down into the Underworld. Hel then made the Underworld into her own realm and crowned herself the Queen of Helheim. The entrance to Helheim is guarded by the dog named Garm, which means hellhound. The dog is bound in a cave called Knipa Cave. The dog is howling every time new people arrive. Whenever the dragon Nidhogg hears the dog howl, it knows that new blood is on its way. Nidhogg will then suck the blood out of all the dead people who arrive, so they become completely pale. When all the blood has left their bodies, it is easier for Hel to get them into her army of the dead. This army will one day attack and destroy the whole world. This will happen at Ragnarök, which is the end of the world. Hel will use her ship Naglfar, which is built from all the fingernails from the dead. Helheim is surrounded by a tall fence called Nagrin, which means corpse fence. Helheim is a very creepy place, but not everyone will go to Helheim when they die. It is only those who dies of illness or old age, or are not brave enough in the eyes of the gods. Hel lives inside Helheim in a big hall, where she has her throne to rule over the dead. Whenever Hel is hungry, she sits at her dining table called Hunger and uses a knife called Starvation. Helheim is not a nice place to be. So remember, Valhalla favors the brave. The Fenris wolf is another son of Loki and the giantess Angrboda. The Fenris wolf is the father of the 2 wolves, Skjalden and Hati. They are the 2 wolves who follows the sun and the moon in the sky. It is foretold that the Fenris wolf will kill Odin at Ragnarök, and Odin knows this, but there's nothing he can do to prevent it. But the god Vidar will take revenge on his father Odin and kill the Fenris wolf with his giant shoe. In the beginning, the Fenris wolf was kept in Asgard, where Tyr was the only one brave enough to feed him. But when the gods saw how quickly the Fenris wolf grew and how huge it started to become from day to day, they decided to bind him to an extremely strong leash. The gods also thought it was not safe to have him around in Asgard any longer. So one day the gods took the Fenris wolf to an island in Kattegat. When they came to the island, they started playing a game with the wolf to test his strength. So they tied a rope to a rock to see how easily the Fenris wolf could snap a rope. The gods came with a leash called Odin and asked the wolf to try his strength on it. The Fenris wolf did not think much about its powers and let more or less the gods do as they liked. After the gods had tied the leash on the Fenris wolf, the wolf just stretched its legs and the leash broke. The Aesir made another leash by the name Drumi that was twice as strong, and once again they asked the Fenris wolf to try his strength on it, and said he would become very renowned for his strength if such a leash could not keep him. The Fenris wolf thought about it for a minute, and he came to the conclusion his powers was so great that he could break it just as easy as the first leash. As soon as the wolf stretched his feet, the leash broke, and the pieces flew far away. After seeing this, the gods started to fear that they might not be able to bind the Fenris wolf to the rock. Odin, the chief of the Aesir, then sent Sleipnir, the messenger of Freya, into a mountain to find the dwarves to help them make a stronger leash. The dwarves then made a leash that they called Sleipnir. The leash was as light as a silk ribbon, but stronger than an iron chain. This leash was made from 6 ingredients: the sound of a cat's walk, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain, the sinew of a bear, the breath of a fish, and the spittle of a bird. When the leash Sleipnir arrived to the Aesir in Asgard, they decided to go back out to a lake called Armsvatnir and sail to the island Lyngvi. And they managed to lure the Fenris wolf with them. They showed the wolf this new leash and asked him to pull it over, and said it was fairly stronger than it seemed like. The gods stood in a circle and handed it to each other and tried to pull it apart with their hands. They said the Fenris wolf would probably be able to break it, but then the Fenris wolf replied that it didn't think there was any fame to gain by breaking such a small leash. And the wolf thought that this leash was probably made with stealth and fraud. I don't want it to touch my legs, but the gods kept insisting you can probably break it just as easily as the 2 other leashes. And if you cannot break Sleipnir, then you will not be able to frighten the gods, and we will no longer see you as a threat, and we will instantly let you go. Then the Fenris wolf said, if you bind me, so I cannot get free by myself, it will probably take a long time before I get any help from any of you. I am unwilling to let you place the leash on my feet, but if one of you would put one of your hand in my mouth as a pledge that this leash is not made with fraud and magic, I will let you bind me. The Aesir then looked at each other, and now it seemed to them that they were in big trouble, because no one wanted to put his hand into the mouth of such a huge, scary wolf. But suddenly, then the god Tyr held out his right hand and laid it between the jaws of the Fenris wolf. The Fenris wolf was then immediately bound to the leash Sleipnir, and as soon as it was bound, the wolf tried to break free by pulling and stretching his legs. But the stronger and the harder he pulled, the tighter the rope became. Then all the gods started to laugh, except Tyr. He lost his right hand. When the gods had seen that the Fenris wolf was securely bound to the rock, they took the leash and bound it to a chain called Gelja and pulled it through a hole into a large rock named Gjöll. The wolf was furious and opened his mouth very wide, ready to bite them all. So the gods reacted quickly and struck a sword in his mouth, with the shaft supported against the lower and the upper gum. the Finnish wolf started to howl, and Throth began to run from his mouth. Now he was not able to open his mouth that wide anymore, and the gods laughed. The Finnish wolf will stay here, bound to the rock, until Ragnarök. This is when the Finnish wolf will be able to break free of his chains and fight the gods. The Midgard Serpent, also known as Jörmungandr, is another child of Loki. It was Odin who threw this Midgard Serpent down into the sea. But the Midgard Serpent loved the ocean and started to grow tremendously large, and within a short time the Midgard Serpent has grown so huge that it encircled the whole world. This Midgard Serpent is not just feared by man, but also by the gods and goddesses. Thor and the Midgard Serpent are arch enemies, and they had tried to kill each other on multiple occasions. But at Ragnarök, they will finally kill each other. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and press subscribe for a new video about Norse mythology every Saturday. Thank you for watching.